Hello friends. Today we will talk about a very important topic, how to live and remain alone in life, and we will explore this topic through the precious teachings of Lord Krishna. Krishna, who is also the author of the Bhagavad Gita, has given us knowledge of many important principles of life, one of which is how to be alone. Today we will talk about these 5 important topics. Let's start. 1. Experiencing the importance of being alone. Being alone, this is an experience that every person has to face at some point in his life. Lord Krishna teaches us that there is a special significance in being alone which makes us aware of our own understanding, health, and self-development. An excellent example of self-surrender is the unique time of Lord Krishna in his childhood, playing with the gopis in Gokul. One day, Krishna's companion told him that he was alone and playing with Shrimadh's butter. Hearing this, Krishna also gave up the privilege and went out alone to steal the butter. At this time Krishna addressed his celibate feelings with his friends and fellow cowherds and told them that he now decided to live alone and study the soul. What we learn from this incident is that being alone gives a person the opportunity to connect with his soul and gives him the ability to enjoy his uniqueness. Lord Krishna saw this opportunity as a spiritual practice, and by devoting his soul to it, he became a high-level seeker. This experience shows that living alone gives a person the opportunity to understand his natural tendencies, interests, and strengths. It shows a direct path for an individual to reach the ideal of the soul through her self-development, which can help towards good relationships, health, and prosperity. Thus, from the teachings of Lord Krishna we learn that being alone is not just a state, but can also be a practice that boosts our alertness, courage, and aliveness. This lesson teaches us that every experience of life gives us an opportunity to learn something, and by being alone we can understand ourselves, which creates unity with our soul. 2. Soul connection. Lord Krishna makes it clear in his teachings that the soul is an integral part of our life and is related to all our actions and emotions. In this section we will learn how by being alone we can understand our soul connection and connect with it strongly. To understand the relation of soul, we first need to know what soul is. Lord Krishna has said that the soul is the unique and immortal part of us, which neither takes birth nor dies. It always exists and is eternal. According to the teachings of Lord Krishna, the soul is concerned at all levels, physical, mental, and spiritual. It is not in our bodies, but in our souls that connects us to each other. Being alone we feel this connection especially and understand that we are connected to everyone in a uniqueness. As an example, we can look towards the unique charioteer form of Lord Krishna when he inspired Arjuna to energize him on the battlefield of Mahabharata. At this time, Krishna appeared to Arjuna in his unique form and told him that the soul of every person is eternal and indestructible. This lesson inspires Arjuna to support his duties and helps him understand the connection of the soul in the situation of war. From this example we can learn that understanding the soul connection while being alone gives us a sense of uniqueness that makes us feel connected to everyone. It encourages a sense of companionship with spirit on a higher level and inspires us to align our actions and thoughts with spirit. Thus, through the teachings of Lord Krishna we can understand our soul connection and experience it strongly while being alone. This seek shows us that the soul is behind all our actions and it guides us to turn our life in a right direction. 3. Vision of the world through the soul. In the teachings of Lord Krishna, he teaches us that when we are united with our soul, we are able to see the world from a new perspective. In this section we will learn how we can see the world through the soul and how it brings prosperity, peace, and support to our lives. Lord Krishna has said in Gita that a person who is united with his soul is able to see the world from a different perspective. He comes out of his darkness and sees everything as comprehensible and supported by the one God. To explain this approach, we can go through an example. Imagine that a person is united with his soul and he experiences that everything is united in one infinite and unique God. With the realization of this uniqueness, his vision changes and he sees all living beings, natural elements, and the universe as a single soul. In this situation, his philosophy changes. He now surrenders his soul and considers all living beings as his companions and sees the destiny of his soul in all living beings. In his vision, there is unity with nature and he sees the world in a unique divinity. In this way, by viewing the world through the soul, we can transform our lives in a positive way. Our vision is one of support, love, and empathy, and we see the world as our soul. It makes us feel one with all through the soul and inspires us to direct our actions towards the highest purposes. Thus, from the teachings of Lord Krishna we learn that by uniting with our soul we can see the world from a new and higher level, and this gives our life a meaningful and spontaneous path. 4. Devotion in actions together with the Spirit. We will learn how we can dedicate our actions in union with Spirit and how this brings us ongoing prosperity and joy. In the teachings of Lord Krishna, we learn that only by meeting the soul can there be real dedication and success in our work. Devotion to our actions in union with the Spirit means that we view our actions from a higher perspective and relate them to our spirit. It helps us understand how we can transform our actions into virtuous ones and relate them to a divine providence. An example of meeting with the soul is the exciting statement of Lord Krishna, Karmani evadikarast ma phaleshu kadakan. Ma karma phalhetur purma te sangostva karmani. From this verse he teaches that we should be attached only to the works and not to the fruits. We should dedicate our actions to uniqueness and not worry about the results. In this doctrine, Lord Krishna teaches us that true success and happiness can be achieved only through dedication in work. Through dedication to action in conjunction with the Spirit, we can direct our actions toward a divine purpose. We can make our actions a part of an important contribution, not just for the sake of a supportless relationship, but by connecting them with all the powers that be. Thus, we perform our actions with a spirit of service, love, and excellence, so that the outcome of our actions is for the benefit of all. Another example of this principle is Lord Krishna motivating Arjuna to perform his duty on the battlefield of Mahabharata. Here, Lord Krishna told Arjuna that he should perform his duty diligently and not worry about any fruits. At this time, he teaches Arjuna the real meaning of war, which consists in dedicating one's actions to one's soul. Thus, dedication to work combined with the Spirit gives us the ability to see life from a higher perspective and motivates us to make our actions meaningful. With this, we not only develop a positive feeling with our soul, but also move forward in the spirit of dedication and service with the world. 5. Importance of a life consecrated to the Spirit. We will learn the importance of a life dedicated to the Spirit and how it gives us spiritual and social balance. Through the teachings of Lord Krishna, we come to learn that a life dedicated to the soul gives us the ability to live in harmony and makes our lives meaningful. In a life dedicated to the Spirit, we perform our actions for a higher purpose. We consider our soul to be the source of excellent education, service, and power, and through it we give direction to our lives. An example of Lord Krishna's teachings is his sermon, Karmani evadikarast ma phaleshu kadakan. From this we learn that we should do our deeds not for the sake of fruits, but only with eagerness and devotion towards the deeds. This is an important principle of living a life committed to the Spirit, allowing us to transform our actions into virtuous ones and view them from a well-educated, supportive perspective. In a life surrendered to the Spirit, we understand and accept our nature. Lord Krishna has told that we should act according to our nature and dedicate ourselves to it. It is the learning of recognizing and accepting our spiritual nature in union with the Spirit, thereby empowering us in our actions. In a life surrendered to the Spirit, we experience harmony, affection, and surrender to our soul. It takes us into an even deeper connection with our soul, and we are inspired to perform our actions at a higher level. Through this we cultivate social and spiritual balance and gain the ability to view life from a holistic perspective. As an example, a person who lives a life dedicated to the Spirit performs his actions with service, love, and dedication. He devotes his time, energy, and resources to the upliftment of society and strives to achieve a higher purpose in union with the soul in his actions. With this, he not only succeeds in his spiritual development, but his efforts are also meaningful for the welfare of the society. Thus, a life dedicated to the Spirit leads us to an ideal and meaningful life. We can make our life a happy and successful journey by devoting our actions with soul, which not only supports our spiritual growth but also is a contribution for the betterment of the society. So friends, today we saw that learn to be alone is a very deep and important topic, which can lead to the opening of a new perspective in our life. The teachings of Lord Krishna teach us that being alone is not just a cause of stress or alienation, but it is also an important part of our self-development. If you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll meet in the next video. Until then, bye.